Good morning, my name is Megan.
I'm Callie.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Mary Grace.
We are students at the UAB's Occupational Therapy Program, and today we're going to be showing you some Cooking 101. Within this video, we will show you some of the basics for cooking, as well as pots, pans, utensils you may need, adaptive equipment, as well as showing you some meal prep ideas. We hope you enjoy.
Today we're going to start off by talking about some cooking basics. We're going to start by looking at our measuring cups and spoons. Now it's important to note that there are two types of measuring cups and spoons. We have measuring cups that are used for liquids and measuring spoons and cups that are used for dry ingredients. The liquid cups are used for your liquid ingredients such as cooking oil, water, and yogurt, whereas your dry spoons and cups are used for flour, nuts, berries, and other dry ingredients. It's important to note that there are abbreviations on the measuring spoons, the dry spoons. The capital T stands for tablespoon, and the lowercase TSP stands for teaspoon. Whereas on some of the dry cups, as well as the liquid, the C stands for cup, as well as ML stands for milliliter, and OZ stands for ounces. Next, we're going to look at some knives that you would use in your kitchen. First, we have our chef knife. This is the most versatile and used knife in the kitchen. Next, we have our serrated knife. This is used for quickly and safely cutting bread. And lastly, we have our paring knife, which is used for peeling fruits like an apple. The small knife allows for safety and control when cutting small fruits and peels. Next, we have our pots and pans. Pots have tall edges and two handles, whereas a pan has a shallow bowl and a long handle. A pan is used for cooking methods at high heat, such as browning, simmering, and frying. And a pot is used for boiling and simmering ingredients, where the liquid covers the entire ingredients. Lastly, we're going to look at strainers. Strainers are often used to remove liquids from other ingredients, or it can be used to shift or sift small ingredients from larger ingredients. It's important to note that there are many types of strainers that can be used depending on the pot and pan that you're using. They're often seen to cover the sink, or they're made of nylon, plastic, or metal.
All right, so today I'm going to show you some adaptive equipment that you can use in the kitchen that is going to be very beneficial. So to start, we're going to start off with showing you the different various choppers that you can have. This one is actually what we call a 4-in-1 chopper. It has various attachments right here where you can chop, dice, slice your ingredients, and it'll stay in this tub for you. Another type of chopper that you have is the traditional chopper. So we will be showing you this later in one of our cooking videos, but you basically just chop, and you can see the blades go down, and it'll help chop your ingredients. For whenever you are browning beef, chicken, pork, anything like that, this is what we call a meat cutter. It'll actually, you do like this in the pan, and it'll help to ground your beef and make it a little bit easier than using a spoon or fork. All right, next we're going to show you the different types of jar openers that you can have. This one is a multi-attachment. It has multi-sizes, so you can see you can put a big jar here, smaller, and it just fits around the jar and turns it. So we might be showing you this in a later video of how exactly it's used. All right, so the next type of jar opener we have is this one. It's a little bit bigger, it has a longer handle, so it helps if you have weaker hand strength. The serrated ends right here do help to grab the jar, making it a little bit easier to open. Next, we have an electric can opener. So instead of using the manual ones where you have to crank it, this one you would just put on the jar or the can, and you would press it, and this right here will actually cut open the can for you. Now we have a garlic press. So with this, you would put a piece of garlic into here, and then you would do like this to cut it, and then the garlic would come out here. So this makes, instead of mincing your garlic by hand with the knife, this makes it a lot easier to do for you. All right, so these are what we call mobility aids. So there are various sizes that you can have depending on the size spatula or spoon or fork that you're using. And the way this works is once you attach it onto the spoon or fork, in this case a spatula, you can place it through your hand. So if you have weaker hand strength today, maybe you're just not able to grip, you can do like this and continue to stir your food in the pot without having to grip it. The last adaptive tool that I will be showing in the kitchen is this cutting board. Now this cutting board is actually unique in the fact that it has suction cups on the bottom of it. This allows you to be able to place the board firmly on a surface, press down. As you notice, the board will not move. This board also has the pegs. These pegs allow you to put fruits, vegetables, meat, whatever you want on the pegs, and it allows the ingredients not to move around while you're cutting. This allows you to free up a hand. The next thing that is interesting about this is the 90-degree angle that this creates. You are able to put things such as bread, quesadillas, anything that you want against this. Once you slice it, it'll make a perfect triangle or a diagonal slice in your sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of how this works. So I have here just a regular bell pepper. So I'm going to put it on here, make sure it's to the bottom, and that way it's fastened securely. I'm going to be using our chef's knife. And then what I will do, see I don't have to hold it, I can just go ahead and slice. And it would make slices like this. The next thing that I'll show you is if you have a piece of bread, or in this case I have a tortilla, let's say I want to make a quesadilla. I can put this to the barrier at the 90-degree angle, and I can go ahead and slice with my chef's knife, and I can have perfect triangles for a quesadilla. The last item that I will be talking about is what you can do if you start to feel tired while cooking. The first way that you can help to ease your fatigue that you have is you can simply get a chair and just come and sit at the table or surface that you're using to prepare your vegetables and foods. So you can do this. The other option that you can do is you can actually buy a stool. They do have folding stools where if you want to stay at a higher height, like where your counters are, you can actually get a folding stool. That'll help you to be up higher and be sitting as well. All of these options will help you anytime that you have worked a long day and you're tired and just feel a little fatigued and need to sit while preparing your dinners.
A great way to save time, money, and effort is to bulk meal prep all of your food for the week. What I like to do is pick one day that I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready. So for me, that's a Sunday afternoon. I like to choose a protein, a carb, and a veggie that I can mix up and use different ways throughout the week.
A great tip for meal prepping is to buy your meat in bulk. I like to prepare my meat in the Instapot because it's such a large portion. After it's finished cooking, I divide it up for different meals that I'll be preparing throughout the week. For example, the first night of the week you could have chicken tacos. The next night you could have grilled chicken skewers. And then later in the week you could even make chicken soup.
You could also do this for your carb. For example, if you chose rice for the week, the first night you could make chicken tacos with a side of rice and beans. And then later in the week, you could make grilled chicken on a bed of rice. And then at the end of the week, you could put that rice into your chicken soup.
Now, let's make our soup.
So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our Instant Pot on saute. I have gone ahead and put the ground sausage and the onions into the Instant Pot, and I'm going to use our beef utensil that we talked about earlier to just grind it all up and get that all cooked and soft before we add everything else in. So now that we've done that, we are going to put in our zucchini. And we're gonna put in our carrots. And remember, if you don't have enough hand strength or energy to cut up your vegetables, you can find pre-cut vegetables at your grocery store, and that saves a lot of time. So we are going to work on our canned stuff. We have tomatoes. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the electric can opener. Okay, so we're gonna open this can with our electric can opener. All right. Then we're gonna go ahead and put that into the Instant Pot. Okay. Now we've got our cannellini beans, and this one just has a pop top, so that makes it easy. We're gonna put that in there. Next, we're gonna do our spices, and I've gone ahead and measured out a tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of thyme. Next, we're going to do a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And lastly, we're going to put in an entire carton of chicken broth. Now, we've got some pasta noodles over here that are going to go in it. And you can do that one of two ways. You can either put your dry pasta into the pot with the rest of your ingredients and just add a little bit of water and it'll cook in there. Or you can go ahead and pre-cook your pasta, which is what we've done. So we're gonna let this cook and then we will add the pasta in after. So we're going to let that kind of simmer and cook. So we're gonna put the Instant Pot lid on. Then we're gonna come over here and we're going to pressure cook, and it's already on high pressure, and we're gonna take the time down to 6 minutes. Then you wanna make sure that your vent is sealing and not letting air out, otherwise it'll have a hard time building up pressure. So I'm gonna make sure that that's sealing and it's good to go. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, that is fine. You can also make this on a stove. You would just want your heat on medium-high, and you can just let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes, and it should be exactly the same. So we're gonna make 6 meals today for the week. We're using chicken as our protein, rice as our carb, and we just have a bag of steamed microwave vegetables for our veggies. So I'm gonna get my container, and I'm going to put a chicken breast in each container. Then I'm gonna put some rice. And then last but not least, I'm gonna put some veggies on the other side. Then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna get a lid and just pop that on top. And I'll do that for all 6, and then I'll have 6 grab-and-go meals just ready to microwave for the week. Now, I know that all of those were cooked the same exact way, so if you need a way to spice it up a little bit, you can use different types of sauces like barbecue sauce, soy sauce, Alfredo sauce, anything that you want, and you can just add a little bit of that onto your chicken and rice, and it makes it a whole new meal every single time.